AI plus business analyst equal to one of the most demanded skills in 2026. Watch the full video and join our training for complete BA with AI understanding. I'll open one of the big four company job description for a business analyst position. So in the first roles and responsibilities, it's clearly mentioned that a business analyst has to gather requirements from the stakeholders and translate that into the functional and non-functional requirements and convert into the BRDs, user stories, and acceptance criteria. So let's see, in case if you're doing it manually, it takes so much of time because converting into the functional, non-functional, you will directly gather requirements from the stakeholder. But later, as a BA, you will need to capture into functional and non-functional requirements. So let's see. Uh, Always remember that in the work environment also you are allowed to use AI. In fact, your manager and business team will always encourage you to use AI to automate things because end of the day they will be looking they will be they will more focus on productivity. Okay, so always remember that yes, you can use AI happily, but I strongly recommend you to use in a private window. So whenever you are planning to automate things, always ensure that you are opening in a private window. Okay, just open private window and before which AI tool that you want to choose. So I will choose AI. I have chosen ChatGPT. So let's imagine that I got a requirement from the stakeholder, okay, as a BA. So now it's time for me to convert into the functional and non-functional. And imagine that for me to convert these requirements which I captured into the functional and non-functional, it would take time. But I would like to automate, okay, using AI. So I will tell to AI, create into functional and non-functional requirements. So when I hit enter, now the AI will help me to convert the requirements into the functional requirements and non-functional requirements. So these are the functional requirements and these are the non-functional requirements. And you can see how quickly it was automated things. So this is one of the role as a BA where you will do in the work environment. As a BA, you will capture the requirements and you'll be translating the same into the functional and non-functional. This is one of the key duty of a business analyst. And apart from that, duty number two would be like you need to also create epics, stories, and process flow diagrams and BRD. Let's imagine that you gather the requirements and draft it into the functional and non-functional. And now it's time for you to create epics and user stories. Okay, epics, features, and user stories. You all know that a business analyst will be creating a user stories. I'll open the job description one more time for you. Yeah, I hope you can see. Yeah, here are able to see user stories and acceptance criteria and BRD. So this is also one of the key duty where business analyst does in the work environment. So let me see how can we automate using AI to create these stories and it all. So I'm just saying AI to create based on the requirement which is uploaded. I'm saying to the AI to create into epics, features, and user stories. So when I hit enter, so first of all you can see epic, features, user stories. So you'll get the whole features and the user stories for the requirement which you captured and which is in the above. Okay, the same requirements we need to capture, we need to draft, we need to break down into the epics, features, and user stories. These one can able to write easily. So for example, in order to write user stories, there is a standard format which we follow. That format is as a, I want, and so that. So this format where usually business analyst follows in writing the user stories every time. So instead of writing manually, you can even prefer AI in order to automate things, these user stories and acceptance criteria. Okay, so you can see that all these user stories are created and yeah, so this is how we can automate things. And the next thing you can see in the job description was uh, okay, so you can see that where they were expecting to also create process flow diagrams. Let's imagine that your product owner and the development team were asked you to create a process flow diagram because they feel like the requirements which you are explaining them or presenting them were they felt like complex. they felt like the requirement was complex. So in that situation, as a BA, you need to create UML diagrams. Okay, UML diagram. So UML stands for Unified Modeling Language, where business analyst will be creating these diagrams in order to make the requirement less complex. Okay, to the development team, it will be more beneficial to the development team. I will show you one of the UML diagram online so that you will understand. Swimlane diagram. So I'll show you one of the diagram so you can understand. Yeah, so now you can pay attention. So this is a diagram. For example, you gather the requirements from the stakeholder and you created the user stories and documented. Even though you documented the requirement, the development team felt complex. They were hard to understand the process. So in that situation, as a BA, you need to create these kind of diagrams. Okay, so in the work environment, in general, you need to create these diagrams so that it will be easy to understand. Because when you show and demonstrate the requirements in the form of verbally, some people will hard to understand. But when you demonstrate by depicting these diagrams, people or the development team will understand very easily. So one of the key duty of a business analyst was also to create process flow diagrams. So let's imagine that creating these diagrams takes close to at least a half an hour. Anyone, even if you are a pro, it takes so much of time. I mean, it will take like 30 minutes to create this in case if you are doing it manually. But what in case if you are preferring any AI and if you are wanting to AI to automate, we can do that. So let's imagine that okay, so let's imagine same requirement, okay, same requirement which I captured from the stakeholder. Using this, I want to create process flow diagram. There is a first of all, we need to give a prompt to the AI. Okay, so I'm just copied the requirement and I will say the AI to convert into plant UML, plant UML. Okay, land to UML code. So you need to give the prompt. We need to give this prompt, guys, because plant UML is a application. So by copying this code, the requirement code which AI is going to give, the plant UML application will be converting and giving us back the diagram. Okay, so you can mention which UML diagram you want. Swim lane diagram I want. I'll say. So I'll hit enter. Now the requirement which I gave here, all these customers should be able to, it will be now converted into plant EML code and that too in the swimlane diagram format. So you can see already it was converted and gave me the uh, swimlane diagram format code. So now it's time for me to copy. Okay. So copy this and go to the plant UML. So just type plant UML. So an application will be open. So plant UML. So click on this. Now copy the one which you copied the code, paste over here and click on submit button. So when you click on submit button, you can see this plant UML application was gave you the diagram. Okay. So you can see it was gave you the in a structured way the diagram was created by using this plant UML application. So now it's time for you to save this picture and demonstrate to the development team. Imagine the same diagram if you would get an opportunity to create manually, it will take ample of time, right? All this creating all these and considering the requirement and going back and it takes so much of time. So you can see that this plant UML was gave us the output in less than 30 seconds. So this is also one of the key duty where business analyst will create when there is a requirement consist of complexity. This is called process flow diagrams. And I'll also show you another what business analyst using we can automate things. And apart from this, we will be also responsible for creating a test cases. Okay, UAT test cases. Uh, business analyst will be responsible in creating a test cases. So this test cases definitely it will take so much of time because uh, it requires where we need to invest our time in the Excel. So in the Excel we basically create this test cases. So let me tell you how we can exactly automate using AI. Okay, so let's imagine I got a requirement. I got a requirement and I need to create a test cases, business test cases, because business analyst will be also creating a business test cases so that the end users will be able to understand the steps, and based on that they can perform testing. So for their purpose, on behalf of end users, we need to create a test cases. So I will tell AI to create business test cases for the above requirement. So yeah, so when I hit enter, it will create the test cases. Okay, so let's imagine that the same if you create in the Excel, it will take ample of time. So you can automate using AI, and you can get it done. And apart from these four sections, we can also include few more sections like preconditions. Okay, and you can add post conditions. Okay, and the status. So you can include, I will ask AI to include this. So when I tell AI, so you can see it was give me the business test cases for the requirement which I was expecting. So you can see that you can imagine like it will take so much of time for you to create the test cases in case if you are doing it in Excel manually. So now using AI, I just done within fraction of seconds. Now it's time for me to copy the test cases, and I'll go to the Excel. Okay, let me do in the live. Okay, I'll go to Excel, and I'll paste over there. Okay, and I'll paste in the worksheet. Okay, now I have pasted, and yeah, you can see these are the test cases where business analyst will be creating in the work environment when there is a UAT validation, UAT testing with the users. So yeah, so this is how we create the test cases in the work environment to support UAT validation for the users. Okay, and apart from that, we also requires to create a visualizations for one of the application for visualizations. So let's assume that uh, a stakeholder was asking for you to create a pie chart. Okay, they were actually looking for some data where you need to present it in the form of visualization. Let's imagine that uh, we got some requirement and the stakeholder wanting that to be present in the uh, pie chart. So just by copying it, by intaking the requirement and putting in the AI will create what exactly the visualization that you were wanting it to be. So you can mention for now, I just mentioned to the AI to create a pie chart. So as I said that the AI is created the pie chart. So you can also create visualizations using AI. Okay, and yeah. So this is also one of the key duty where we do as a business analyst. And also apart from this, we often create documentation. We often create a documentation. So the documentation can be also refined. The sentences and the wording you can able to refine over here. And also I would like to talk on SQL. As a BA, you will also charge for pulling the data from the database. So suppose let's assume that you are unaware of the SQL queries. So in that situation, you can come to the AI and you can give the prompt so that the AI will give you the output. Let's imagine I'm a BA and I was wanting a data to be pulled. So I want to pull from database a field called customer name from date call from date 25 Jan 2026. Also, I want number of employees who are joined, who are onboarded. I actually don't know. I actually business expectation was to pull me a date, pull the data, what exactly they were gave me the requirement, the one which I was highlighted. But since I don't know, I can ask the AI to provide me the SQL queries, SQL SQL queries. So I'll ask the AI to SQL query. So I just gave the prompt. So let's see what exactly the AI will give. So it gave me the query. So now it's time for me to copy this and I'll go to my database and I'll paste there and I'll get the data and I can pull the data from there and I can share it to my business team and stakeholders. So this is how we can automate things using AI. But still but still business analyst position is one of the highly safe from AI. I guarantee, because even we can automate things using AI, but our business analyst role will not be totally removed using AI, because it's a decision making role. So it's very hard to uh, remove the business analyst position from AI, because we will be contacting with the various stakeholders, cross-functional team. We need to connect. So without business analyst, I guarantee that no business will be operative. So what you are looking. So like this, we are going to train you using AI with business analyst total course. So interested candidates can contact me. So I'm going to drop my number and the website in the description. Please enroll. We are starting new batch. Thank you and have a great day.